Hey everybody, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. It's a rainy Tuesday here in Minnesota. I don't know where you're listening from. I don't know where you're watching from, but hopefully your weather is better than ours. And you know what? Just like the rain, it's going to go away. The sun has to come out. The Eagles, we got to flush that. But I'm going to bring something up about that because I got a $2.3 million tweet, 2.3 million view tweet that I have to discuss because people don't understand the point of the tweet. But also, Gophers, Iowa is bacon week. I can smell that bacon cooking now. And we'll talk about all that and much more coming up next on The Ron Johnson Show.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcast. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. Now The Ron Johnson Show. On the field, in the broadcast booth, Ron Johnson is Minnesota sports. He's played with them, hung out with them, and grown up with all the big names in Minnesota sports. They're hanging out with Ron Johnson. It's the Ron Johnson Show on the Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. And it starts now.
Hey everybody, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's rainy though, but it's still beautiful. I mean, why? Because you woke up today. You got a chance to do it all over again. And we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings QB situation. I'm seeing all the morning media pundits talk about that the Vikings make a mistake. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Just download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. As I explained before, I did it. So I just want you to know it's simple, right? Pick a no-brainer. The no-brainer of the week for me is that the Badgers are going to lose to Oregon. Now, 34.5 point spread. I wouldn't take the points, because that's tricky. 34.5 points is a lot for the Badgers to lose by. I hope they lose by 50, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But that is, if you just want to straight up, Oregon beats the Badgers, just bet that. That's your $5 bet. You'll have $300 in bonus bet, so you can lock that in. If the Badgers somehow lose, I will wear all red on Tuesday's show. I will come donned in red. I don't even know if I have a lot of red stuff, but I will come donned in red on Tuesday. That's how confident I am that Oregon is going to run through these Badgers. I don't know if, and I'll bring my producer into the show, Sam Ekstrom. Sam, I don't know if a duck has ever fought a Badger, but I don't think a Badger would lose to a duck in a fight. But I do feel like a dead Badger, a duck could just walk right over, and that's what the Badgers are right now. They're a dead program. They're already talking about potential firing of their coach. What's next? How do they move on? That's the craziest part of this, Sam. And so I just don't know what's going on. But we're not talking Badgers today. We're not talking Oregon today. We're talking Minnesota Vikings, Sam. And so for the Minnesota Vikings first, I want to address the tweet. So I had a tweet this weekend, Sam, you saw it as well. It's at 2.3 million views right now. And of course, it's still going because some people who are just getting to their Twitter and my tweet is just crossing their path because now it's trending. So you know how those go when stuff trends. The tush push now is in trending, Sam. Not because of me, because of everybody. Everybody has made the tush push trend. But my tush push versus the Vikings tweet just said, watch A.J. Brown. He flinches twice. And both guards move right before the ball is snapped. Now, again, to the naked eye, it looks fine. But I did go slow-mo, and you can see A.J. Brown kind of do this. It's slight, but it's still a flag because why he did it before, that leads me to believe that those hard counts are potential, like, oh, we might go here. Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know when there's some type of signal. Jalen Hurts and the guards are doing something to let the center know, okay, we're going to go. You got to snap it right now because we're going to go early. And it seems like they've worked on this and worked on this and worked on this because they leave as they lift their hand up to go, the ball starts to go at the same time. So to the ref, to the naked eye, it looks like it's on time. When you slow it down, it's not. And people are like, you can't slow down every play and then throw a flag on that. I'm not saying every play, people. Like, he's false starting. I posted the touchdown when he motioned and ran the go route or the quick post route and scored again. The guard never came to set. Like, you can move, you can look, you can do all you want pre-snap, the line, but the rule says the offensive line has to come, everybody, whoever motions and says, if you motion, you can keep motioning. If you shift, you have to come set for a full second before the quarterback snaps the ball. Now, again, semantics. Was he set for a second? No, because he's rocking back and the ball is snapped. He's still in movement. Like, because everybody's like, look at this. He's standing straight up. And right. So watch the play before that. He's down like this because he touches the center down and then he rocks back to start his back up. For those watching on YouTube, you understand exactly what I'm doing. For those that are listening, just know that I'm doing a very good replay of what the offensive lineman does.
He is.
And so, Sam, my point to this is, one, people are losing their minds about this tweet. They are calling me a crybaby. Vikings fans are soft. We're salty. We're this. No, I'm just saying literally one play. Now, does that tush push change the scope of the game? Maybe. Because that should be a false start or it should just be an illegal procedure. Boom, move them back 5 yards. Now, were the Eagles cooking offensively? Yeah, they were. So maybe it doesn't change, but maybe it does because the butterfly effect. You don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie with Ashton Kutcher and the butterfly effect. Every time something happens, something else changes. Every time something happens in the past, something changes in the future. Just like Back to the Future. You can't see your future self or you're going to pass out. All that. You can change. You can't change. Oh, no. Not when you see yourself. You can't talk to yourself. You're not supposed to, but we know Biff. I don't know if Sam, if you've seen Back to the Futures.
Oh, yeah.
But Biff took the almanac and gave it to his past self. Future Biff went back into the past, gave it to his past self, and told him, "Hey, bet on these games." And so he became a rich person based off that. But anyway, you think about the butterfly effect. You think about all the things that could have happened. It's a 6-point game. That's what people keep forgetting. It's not like it felt bad. It felt like the Vikings got destroyed, but it was a 6-point game, Sam. Those plays, that touchdown, if you throw the flag and back it up, I don't think they go for it. I think they run a different play to get into a manageable next down. Instead of whatever in 15, first and 15, yeah, I think they're going to go and switch it up and go second. They're trying to get 2nd and 7. So they're not going to go deep because then if you go deep, you're 2nd and 15. So now if your third down play doesn't work, you're in 3rd down and 15. So, you don't want to end up in that. But whatever. But they're attacking me, Sam, about that. My point is just when the tush push happens, one, you're debating on if he got the first down because that was questionable if he did or didn't. I am hearing now there are chips in some of these balls in the NFL. So I don't know why they can't see where the ball is because you can't see the scrum. I don't know why they can't just take the chip, use the whatever it is, the virtual measurement that they use. Yeah, because the chip's in the virtual measurement. Use the chip, check the virtual measurement. Where was the ball when his knee went down? Watch the clock, watch his knee in the pile, look at the time, and then check the virtual measurement. Was the ball, because there's, you look at, I think it was Redmond maybe, I can't remember who did it, but somebody who was laying on top at the very end of that play, he reaches up and he's pointing the ball's not there. The ball's not where he said is. And then you could see him kind of stick the ball under the offensive lineman's crotch, to be honest. It looks like he just reaches up under his crotch and put the ball there. And the refs are I'm he's not doing that when he's in the pile. He's got it like this going forward. And then, of course, he must know when I hit the bottom, you have to pull it out and then pull it back. And so that's the only thing I'm concerned about is why aren't they using that? That's the only thing I wanted to do was slow-mo that play alone, just review it, see if anything was off, and then come back. That's all I want to do because people were acting like I'm saying review every single play. People make up whatever they want to make up when it comes to this play. I'm saying literally the tush push, and I don't know if it happens, 6 times a game? So 6 pauses for them to be able to see the play.
I think, Ron, now in your tweet, you do specify don't ban the play.
Correct.
I think I kind of want it banned because here's why. Here's why, Ron. It's not about what's happening now with the Eagles. It's about what I think could happen in the league. I think you could get to a point where it does spread around the league to such an extent that it becomes so effective that it's no longer a competitive play and it ruins short yardage moments. Right now, the Eagles being so skilled at 4th and 1. I know that they want to say, well, stop us then. Just stop us. But you want to have competitive football plays on a 4th down and 1 That should be a hold your breath kind of play where the quarterback either throws it or hands it off and you have a chance to stop them. I know that it sounds like sour grapes because the Eagles just keep converting and converting, but when they ran it 4 times in a row against the Giants, wasn't that kind of good evidence as to why this isn't a sustainable practice in the league? Would you want all 32 teams going about short yardage this way? No, it's a hideous looking play. It's an ugly play. And to your point, Ron, it's a play that the Eagles are manipulating the rules with. I don't like it in the league. I think it's not an interesting play. It's not aesthetically pleasing. I would rather have football being played on a big 4th and 1 rather than a rugby scrum. That's just me. But I don't find it to be good football to watch. That's why I would do away with it entirely.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of this, though, is when you look at the way the Vikings play it, the way the Vikings turned the guy sideways. I don't even know if that's legal. Like, because you can't see, like, the camera angles are bad. You can't tell anything that's going on in there. You can't see if he's under the center. Like, it looks like he's literally under the center, but clearly he's not, because down the line shot, the refs are looking, he's on his side, but you got 2 other players on his team. It's almost like you need to double tush push. Like, you need to match their push by putting more guys there, and then you're literally just giving up the chance for a bigger play because you're putting a guy behind a guy to push a guy forward on defense too. When he goes down, you want to push him down so he submarines them, and then you want to be able to have somebody else come over the top, which you saw. I think it was Jalen Redmond came over the top. It's a crazy setup for how this play has gone. But again, the Eagles keep saying this. If everybody could do it, they would. Everybody's not good at it. Everybody hasn't perfected it. I think the one thing people are missing is the guards. The guards are in 4-point stands, basically. They are super low. They're just going down and creating like a wave for Jalen Hurts to ride over. Like, and again, everybody talks about, he squatted 600 pounds and all this other stuff, and he has strong legs. Like, he has really strong legs. He squats a lot of weight, like he's a super strong kid, or 500. I don't know what he squatted, 500 pounds, whatever it was, but super strong lower half. And so people are just saying, why can't you do it then? If we're doing it, you should be able to do it. And people have tried it and they're not good at it. Like, the Gophers have found a way to do it. They put their tight end in motion and he literally stands right behind the quarterback and just pushes his tush into the end zone. But there's a lot of teams that have tried it as well. I think the Vikings might have tried it one time last year, if I'm not mistaken, and didn't get it. Like, it doesn't work for everybody. Everybody can't tush push. And so I'm not saying outlaw it. I'm just saying review it. But you know what? We're going to flush the Eagles game. We're going to move on. We got to move on because it's a short turn. Vikings didn't even practice yesterday, but they had to have an injury report. Good news, not a lot of names on the injury report. Bad news is we don't really know who's on the injury report because they didn't actually practice. So it was a hypothetical injury report. It might look crazy today because they have to practice on a Tuesday, which is normally their day off. This is a day to rest. This is a day to get ice and stim. So it's going to be a lot of did not practices today. I'm guessing it's going to be veteran rest because, again, this is the, like, when you talk about today and then having to travel tomorrow, like a morning practice and then traveling tomorrow, because you have to practice you can't treat Wednesday like a travel day. Normally a travel day is walk through, relax, go back, get your stuff, get on the plane and go. You can't do that tomorrow. You got to kind of do a fast Friday where you kind of run around a little bit and get the legs pumping, get the blood moving, and then you relax. Then you get on the bus or plane. Yeah, you get on the bus, get on the plane, you go out to LA. And then when you get to the hotel, you probably need to do a walkthrough in the hotel. We've done that before. It's actually kind of fun. It's kind of cool because they kick out the doors in the ballroom and everybody's down there in their socks and flip-flops and, now it's AirPods. Back then we had like the cassette tape where so coach knew music wasn't playing if you were moving, because if you moved, the CD would skip. But now these guys got iPhones and earbuds and all the other stuff. And, they're going to have to do a walkthrough when they get there on Wednesday. And then, because it's a Thursday night game, I guess it's Thursday morning, they would do a walkthrough as well, to be wake up, get breakfast, and then let's get the cobwebs out. Let's come down here, let's stretch. I know PJ Fleck, their team has like a yoga room for the players to be able to stretch and get up and get the blood moving. So I'm guessing the Vikings are going to have something similar where it's like, get up, we're going to do another walkthrough potentially, and then go back to your rooms, because you don't want the guys just in their hotel room all day before a Thursday night game. You got to get the blood flowing, so they'll get up and do something probably in the morning on Thursday. But again, this is why people talk about player safety. If there's a guy with something banged up, something hurt, something ailing, there's not enough time to get back to be able to play. Like any hips, legs, thigh bruises, arms, hands. We saw CJ Ham hurt his hand. Like, goodness gracious, dude comes off of IR and go and right back to being hurt again. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully it's just like a little, whatever, bruised up or got banged or something, but hurt his hand. This is not enough time. Like if it was a Sunday game, a lot of those little injuries like that would be fine. But JJ McCarthy might even be ready for a Sunday night game or a Sunday game. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to have Carson Wentz again. And here we go with the QB situation that I was wanting to bring up. People on TV are talking about Sam Darnold killing it. He is. Daniel Jones leading the NFL in some categories. Like top 5 quarterback, both him and Sam Darnold. I think Daniel Jones is second to Justin Herbert, who they're about to go play. Justin Herbert has 1,913 yards, which is first in the NFL right now. And I think Daniel Jones is right behind him. And when you think about that, you could have had Daniel Jones. You could have had, and again, Daniel Jones knew though he was going to be behind JJ McCarthy. So fine. So that's why I get that. But Sam Darnold, you probably could have just kept Sam Darnold and say, hey, let's see if we can get some more magic out of this goose. Like, can we get some more out of this golden goose? Can we get another like historic season? And he's doing well. So you might have gotten that from him. But that's what I don't understand when you look at how it breaks down right now. It just doesn't make sense to me to what the thought. Now, here's the other thought though. If JJ McCarthy never gets hurt, are we even having this conversation? And that's why you can't play, because Jeff Saturday, I was listening to him this morning, and he was saying the reason they got rid of Sam Darnold is because of those last few games in the Lions game. It's like true. Like everybody complained in those games. Oh, Sam Darnold, he's not the guy. He's not the guy for the Vikings, man. We need JJ McCarthy. And now it's like, well, I wish we still had Sam Darnold. Like, you can't have it both ways. I would love to find some of these tweeters that tweeted that after the Lions game. I might do that. I don't have time today, Sam, because we got the PJ Flex show. I got all this other stuff to do today. But maybe Thursday, because the Thursday night game, I do have that break when I'm sitting over at the Vikings facility. We're going to do the pregame show from TCO Studios. We're going to have like an hour before kickoff. Or sorry, hour before the pregame show. I might spend some time looking for some Sam Darnold tweets and just type in Sam Darnold and look to last year Lions game time. See what some tweets are. And I'm looking for specific people because I got some people in mind. And then see their tweets now after JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz. Because I'm pretty sure those same people that were saying Sam Darnold's not the guy, now they're saying, I wish we had Sam Darnold. Like, you can't have it both ways. And when you think about this matchup, the Vikings QB situation out there, as you look at the Chargers, right? The one thing that Harbaugh does that Kevin O'Connell doesn't do is he draws up rub plays, he draws up crossers, he draws up literally pick plays. They're illegal. Like when I broke down film and watched a lot of third down plays, Sam, a lot of them are illegal. Like you cannot contact the DB that's covering the guy you want to get the ball. And they do, like 83, the tight end for the Chargers, he rubs a couple times for Ladd McConkey. Sam, he literally just blocks the cornerback. Like he runs out at the cornerback. He's acting like he's getting in his way. Like, oh, my bad. Like, dude, you're literally running into him. Another play where the Giants got an interception, the tight end is blocking the DB in front of him, which is why Ladd McConkey falls, because what the guy should have done was keep running through to act like you're not trying to pick the guy. He literally just stopped and did this. And like, for those, again, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're like, what is he talking about? But I'm showing like I'm blocking. He stopped like this, and he's a receiver in the route. You can't stop like this if you're a receiver, and Ladd McConkey runs into his butt, and he can't get to the route. Justin Herbert threw it because he's like, oh, I got the coverage. It's man coverage. This is going to be wide open. He throws it because it's a timing play of a rub, and Ladd McConkey's knocked down by the butt of his tight end. So that was the other interception. And the DB who was covering McConkey played it perfect. Like he trailed him knowing it's a wheel route, and he just kept running. Like when McConkey fell, he didn't stay with him. He kept running and picked it off. He was the guy that picked it off. So if Lad McConkey kept his feet, it would have probably been a touchdown or a race at least. I don't know how fast McConkey is compared to the DB, but it would have been a race, but for sure a first down. And that was one of his interceptions on third down because they're the third. He has the most interceptions on third down, which is 5. And that was one of them. The other two, one was like a knockdown. The other one was a tip at the line of scrimmage in the red zone against the Washington Commanders. Mike Sanistrell picked it off, but it wasn't like a bad throw. The other interception was his fault. He could have led the receiver. He kind of tried to drive it in there, and the DB for the Colts made a perfect, number 20, made a perfect one-handed interception. Looked like Charles Woodson. So, some stuff is his fault. Some stuff is not his fault. But when you think about Harbaugh's play calling, I feel like J.J. McCarthy needs that. Like he needs the timing stuff. He needs the stuff to say, here's when you throw it. Here's where you throw it. Here's why you throw it. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that right now. The way this offense is dialed up for Kevin O'Connell, it's a lot of long developing plays at times. And it's a lot of, you got to read it and learn it, which is fine. That's what quarterbacks are supposed to do. Read, learn, throw. I don't know if that's J.J. McCarthy's game. He was successful under the coach in L.A. And look who's really successful under the coach in L.A. right now. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, we were like, he's never going to be that guy again. Harbaugh's like, man, let me give him a simple offense. And the one thing I will say, Keenan McCardell's 40% of his targets have been on, or 40 plus, I think. I have to go back and do the numbers because I didn't do this week's. But as of last week, 40% of his targets came on third down. Like, clearly Justin Herbert is like, hey, okay, where's Keenan Allen at? Where's that guy at? Where's that guy at? Like, he's watching him. It's so funny, too, because on one of the third down plays, Trent Green's doing the play-by-play, and he's trying to Tony Romo the bit. So when Keenan McCardell goes out to the left and he's one-on-one, Trent Green calls it out like,
Keenan Allen?
Yeah.
You said Keenan McCardell.
Oh, sorry, Keenan McCardell was good too. But no, yeah, Keenan Allen, he's like circles Keenan Allen. Like, here's Keenan Allen, he's one-on-one on third down, like thinking like, okay, he's going to go there. Dude, stop trying to, you can't guess and try to predict it, because then if he had went there, he'd be like, see, I told you. But he tried to play the numbers. 40% of the time they go to Keenan Allen on third down, so he was trying to play the numbers. But what did Harbaugh do? He used it to, like, if you thought that's what the defensive coordinator's thinking too. He's like, hey, he's over there by himself. Why? Man to man, keep an eye on him. And that's what the linebacker kind of faced that way. And that's what Justin Herbert read. As soon as he saw the linebacker not really moving, because he's like honoring Keenan Allen out there, he just came back to Lad McConkey on the slant route on the backside, because everybody was kind of, probably all those guys are looking to say, like, is he going to go to Keenan Allen on this and run a slant? Because it was within slant route territory. It was like 3rd and 6. A slant route territory. No, I'm going to go the other way. You think I'm going to Keenan Allen? I'm going to Lad McConkey. And he played him like a fiddle, and it worked. And so that's why I think, like, we don't run slants. We don't run rub routes. Like, we run a lot of, like, long developing down the, like, what's his name? Jordan Addison's. That out and go. Nobody was there. There was a deep safety back there, because everybody's like, if he hits him in the way, he scores. He probably gets tackled, but it would have been a big gain. But one-on-one down the field, if he drives it in there and Jordan Addison can keep his feet, he probably runs full speed like he's going to try to score, and boom, and then he cuts it back because there's nobody else over there, and he cuts it back, and now it's a race between him and the safety. I'm going to take Jordan Addison on that race. And so maybe that ends up being a touchdown and not a snap over his head and a 59-yard field goal. Again, because we can't, and that's why I want Vikings fans and people and Eagles fans. I'm not saying that those plays lost the game for the Vikings. I know he threw 2 interceptions. One very ill-advised. I know he missed a couple throws. TJ Hawkinson should have been a touchdown. Jordan Addison's could have been a touchdown. I know that. The flat route to Jordan Addison should have just been thrown right into his body, throws into the ground 3 yards in front of him. I know all that. Like, he has not looked great. I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying some of these other plays could have been dialed up a little quicker throws, little slants, little outs, stuff to get him going, some pick plays like Harbaugh does, and that's what I hope J.J. McCarthy gets when he comes back, Sam. Before we get into the Gophers, Sam, when you look at the outlook against this Chargers team, do you think the Vikings have a chance?
Yeah, they definitely do. Chargers are hot and cold, especially the way they looked against the Colts. I'll give you one stat in closing. When the Vikings played the Chargers in 2023. This is at US Bank Stadium, Ron. I'm sure you remember this game. It was back and forth, ended with an interception at the goal line off of TJ Hawkinson's hands. Justin Herbert in that game threw for 405 yards. He was blitzed 42 times. He went 34 of 40 against the blitz for 317 and 3 touchdowns. Absolutely carved up the blitz, much like Jalen Hurts did on Sunday. So how is Brian Flores going to handle this game blitz-wise? Because he got smoked. Remember, that was his 3rd game as the Vikings defensive coordinator back in 23. I'm nervous because I don't know if Brian Flores can help himself, and I think Justin Herbert knows exactly where to go with the ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like Justin Herbert knows where to go with the ball. He's quick throwing. He can figure, like, they do a lot of motions on third down too. That's one thing I've realized, like a lot of shifts and motions on third down to help him understand what the coverage is. Is it man? Is it zone? So Flores has to do a really good job of disguising that motion. Like you don't want to get pushed too far. Like meaning if you're going to motion with the guy, you don't want to motion so far to make him think it's man to now wherever your zone is, you're out of place. We've seen that with the Rams, Sam, if you remember last year Rams game where Shaq Griffin, he's motioning over and then he's like, crap, I'm going to just go play cover 2 and he backs up. Byron Murphy motions over, same thing. And then instead of staying with with Shaq Griffin, instead of staying with Tyler Johnson, he goes and plays cover 2 and now the safety has to come up and play the flat. You don't have to do all that. Sometimes just stay with the guy, let the other guy stay in the coverage he was going to be in and play it because that's what he wants. They know Flores does that. So they're going to say, how can we motion enough to make them get outlined or lined up incorrect so that if they're trying to give me a 4 look, a 2 look with 2 high safeties and man, because cover 2 man is where I've seen him struggle the most on third downs because you still have the 2 high safeties. In his mind, he's thinking zone and it's still man coverage. One of his interceptions, he should have just treated like man and thrown the fade route. He tries to drive it in there as if it's going to be wide open for a cover 2 dig route. And it was man. And the guy was waiting right there on the dig. Because again, he saw back to him. So he's like, okay, there's a zone. His back's to me. I'm going to throw it right on the other side of his back. He's not going to see it coming. That DB flipped it. As soon as the receiver ran, the DB flipped his head and said, nope, I'm in man. Boom, interception. So that's where Flores has to do a good job of disguising whether it is 2-man and maybe being a little basic. Like he tries to be so exotic sometimes, and I get it. But sometimes these guys can get confused of basic coverages that just don't look like what they're supposed to look like, where if it's just 2, you make them think it's cover 2, nobody move, and then we're going to play 2-man. Like when they motion, don't move. You switch, let's just play man. And, or we're playing zone. Hey, you motion, but now you're not on that side is hook flat. You're on this side hook flat, and the linebacker you got to replace on the backside to be in the hook flat area. That's how you can really confuse a quarterback like Justin Herbert. But again, Harbaugh, he played the position. Like he's gonna have this guy ready to go against a guy like Flores. And again, they still have Omarion Hampton. So I think they're going to run the ball too when they know this Vikings defense is ailing at times to stopping the run. If you go back and watch the Falcons game, I'm pretty sure that's what he's looking at. You look at some of the lack of run game against the Eagles, versus the Eagles, where it was amazing the Eagles didn't try to run the ball more on the Vikings. But maybe they just figured like, look, they're worried about Saquon Barkley. We're going to do something different. And that's what it felt like they did. It was like, hey, you worry about Saquon Barkley. We're going to throw the ball. And it felt like that's what they did. But we got to get to the Gophers. We're going to have a short little Gopher segment before we get to the Daily 3. That's 3 questions, 3 minutes each. And then we're going to talk about Gophers beating Nebraska. And then they got Iowa up next. We'll do that after a word from our sponsors.
We are brought to you today by FanDuel. New customers right now, we've been telling you about this for weeks. Bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right, pick a bet. Maybe you bet on Oregon against Wisconsin like Ron prescribed. Put down $5. Sorry about the throat. If it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It's really fun this time of year to be on FanDuel because you got the World Series coming up. You got NHL just starting. You got NBA this week, college football, NFL. It's so much fun. It's live wagering, same game parlays, future wagers that can give you entertainment for months. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com. Check out the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Download that today and get started with a $5 bet.
Well, Sam, Gophers beat Nebraska. Nebraska came in top 25 team. PJ Fleck now has the most top 25 wins in Gopher football history as a coach. He's doing really well at defeating the Giants. You look at Penn State. He's continued Illinois. He's continued to do that with these top ranked teams. It doesn't bother him. The one thing about Nebraska, I thought it was fugazi is the word I would use. I thought it was a fake 25 because they hadn't played. When I looked at the teams they had played versus who the Gophers had played, they hadn't played anybody really hard. I also thought that Emmett Johnson was going to be too concerned and trying to make, and it felt like that. He felt like he was trying to make plays happen versus just hitting the hole and taking the 4-yard, 5-yard gain. Some of the losses and some of the things he was doing felt really forced. And then for Matt Kingsbury, the way that ended, that play that everybody keeps replaying now because they're like he circled this on his calendar, and Matt Kingsbury comes through free because I think guard or center missed him on the blitz, and running backs are supposed to do what they're supposed to do, step up in the hole. You got to take on the blitzing linebacker, and Matt Kingsbury knocked him 10 yards back and still sacked the quarterback. Sam, it is like one of those put it in the Louvre type of plays. Like when you slow that down, because I know now you can have digital artwork now. That's the new thing kids are doing. You can have digital artwork because now they're selling frames that have a digital movement, and you can put different artwork up on your wall, and you have to buy it because it's one of one. There's going to be some people copying. That's why I don't know why people are buying digital art. It's like you can't just create your own. Anyway, totally different topic. We're not going to get on that. But yeah, it's one of those plays where it's just cinematic. He's slow moving. Boom. He hits him, knocks him over. And the Gophers just dominated. 9 sacks in the game. When you think about Carter Mins, and I love how PJ talks about this, a developmental program, which for people, that just means he's not afraid to recruit high school kids, knowing every high school kid is not going to be ready to go. That's the problem with social media. Every high school kid goes to college now, and they want to start their freshman year and be able to post on social media how great they were as a freshman and da-da-da. Everybody is not Maserati Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody is not Jeremiah Smith. Everybody is not Dante Moore at Oregon. He played as a freshman at UCLA, transferred the next year to Oregon, and look, it's doing him well. Everybody can't do it. There are some players like Ethan Kaligmanis that you thrust them in before they're ready, and they just don't look right. Now, same coach, Kirk Shiraka, went to Rutgers with him. He looked pretty good. Now, he did have a horrible game last weekend. I think he only threw for 79 yards. It was bad. But some players takes time to develop. Everybody can't be ready to go right out the gate. I mean, honestly, look at Drake Lindsey. If he had played as a true freshman, I don't think he would look as good as he does now. Sitting for a year behind Max Brosmer gave him a chance to kind of learn how fast college football plays and learn this offense. When you think about the way they beat Nebraska, Sam, it was just a bully fight in the backyard. They were getting after you got 2 sacks by Jackson Howard. It was a master's class, in how to get after the quarterback. And it wasn't even blitzing. I think they only blitzed 2 or 3 times on those sacks. The other thing was Carter Mins and Jackson Howard were just absolute Tyrannosaurus. They were just velociraptors. They were running through those guys, long arm, throwing them, getting rid of them. I think one of Carter Mins' sacks, or 2.5 sacks or whatever, half sack, I don't know he got hit by the tackle, shed him. Got hit by the tight end, I think, shed him, got hit the tackle, shed him, and still made the quarterback get out the pocket. Now, Dylan Raiola holds on to the ball too long, as we saw, because he thinks he's Patrick Mahomes, and it doesn't work. But Sam, the way they beat Nebraska, for them to now be underdogs to Iowa by, I think it's 7.5 last time I checked.
8. I just checked 8.5 now on FanDuel.
Oh my goodness. So I know the bettors are part of this. If they're 7.5 and people are taking the Gophers at 7.5, maybe they're like, okay, this is too low, So they're like, let's up it up. Let's see if we can get more bettors to keep betting on the Gophers at 8.5, because honestly, it's gonna come down to a 3-point game. And you always have to remind me of this, Sam. If the Gophers are a 8, like I said, was it 8.5 now? So if they're an 8.5 point underdog, 8.5 points, they get 8.5 points. If they win by 10, they cover, right?
If Iowa wins by 10?
No, if the Gophers win by 10.
Oh,
they cover.
Gophers. Well, if the Gophers win at all, they would cover because they're underdogs.
Got it. So Iowa would have to win by less than 8.5 for the Gophers to still cover.
Right.
So if the Iowa beats them by a touchdown or 3 points, the Gophers cover.
Gophers cover. Yep.
Right. So I think that's because I think they're hoping too that maybe Iowa beats them by 14. Like maybe the Gophers, because Iowa's defense has always been good. We know that. Iowa's defense has always been good. I think they beat Wisconsin 37-0. That's part of it. I'm interested to see how this game goes. Like Sam, this is one of those Saturdays where I'm gonna sit back with a turkey bacon sandwich because it's bacon week. For those that don't know, we're going to get that pig, bringing that pig back to Minneapolis. And this is going to be one of those nights or afternoons, 2:30 kickoff, back to back too. They got Michigan State at 2:30. But it's one of those afternoons, Sam, where you got to have your bacon. I'm gonna have bacon when I get up. I'm gonna have bacon before I go to sleep. I haven't put bacon on a pizza yet. Have you done that? I've heard that's pretty good. I know bacon comes on a pizza, but I've not done that. But I think I might do that maybe Friday night, do a little pepperoni, bacon, and green pepper pizza.
Chicken bacon ranch, it would be what I would do.
I have seen the chicken bacon ranch pizza. Yeah. And so that's where I kind of I'm wondering where this goes. But Sam, what are your thoughts on that 8.5 points?
Seems high for a rivalry game with two teams that are pretty good. I think that, obviously Iowa gets a little boost being at home. Probably the most impressive game on their resume, Ron, knowing what we know. It's probably their loss to Indiana, honestly. They lost to Indiana 20-15. The fact that they played Indiana so well tells you that they've got something there. Obviously, blowing out Wisconsin. Wisconsin can't score a point. They beat Penn State by 1. Penn State with a lame duck coach. It's hard to know. It's hard to know what these teams really are made of. They lost to Iowa State 16-13. So their offense can disappear a little bit. It's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde offense, much like we always see at Iowa. And I think it's the same thing as Nebraska. If the Gophers can stop the run, then they're golden, right? Because Iowa's going to run the football, and their quarterback is going to run the football. But 8.5 seems like a lot. I think a touchdown game feels appropriate, and the Gophers and Iowa usually play tight. In that, whether it's U.S. Bank Stadium, whether it's on the road, it's usually a tight game. I can't think of when Iowa beat the Gophers by double digits in Iowa. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but they've been competitive there recently.
Sam, and as you saw, it's a surprise for you, Sam. I didn't tell you this one. This is a surprise. I wanted to bring them in the show. I know we could do the doorbell. It's like when somebody shows up unannounced. It was kind of a last minute thought. When I said bacon this morning, I'm like, I totally forgot to follow up with Darrell Thompson and find out if he's doing bacon week. So Sam, can we get him in the show quick? We're get 5 minutes with Darrell Thompson. Just talk a little bacon.
Let's get him in.
See if he's doing bacon. DT, what's up, man?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm good. So, man, everybody wants to know, are you doing bacon week? Are you posting? Because I know you said the posting is the hard part. Posting every day, making sure you show people how much bacon you've made. Are you posting the bacon?
I'm not posting the bacon. I'm eating bacon this week, but I'm not posting the bacon this week. I had to take a year off. Every once in a while, I gotta take a breather. So this is my reset year.
But is one of your kids still living at home or no?
Yeah, we got one daughter that's still at home, so we got plenty of action.
It's got to be her, so she knows social media. You got to put her in charge of posting your bacon for you. You got to say, "Hey, babe, I need your help." Bacon week.
I mean, I got 4 kids. You would think that I could get organized enough to convince one of them to help me with my social media posting. I would be a lot better off if I did that. So that's probably might have to be my New Year's resolution this year, because I do have a lot of thoughts and funny ideas, and they just come and go. And I just let them roll. Even Bacon Week is probably my most easiest and funnest week, but sometimes everything else gets in the way, and this is one of those weeks. It's just kind of a crazy week, so I'm not able to post all the bacon, but I'm eating it. I eat bacon regardless.
That's what I told Sam. I'm doing. I smelt my wife was making it today. She took Tuesday off today. She normally gets Mondays off, but she took Tuesday off, and I could smell the bacon out there. So she must have made a bacon avocado toast thing that she makes. I'm going to do a little bacon sausage sandwich. I think kickoff Saturday for sure, doing some bacon before the pregame show. I'm actually going to bring bacon to the pregame show. Of course, I did that last time.
You should.
I didn't do it last year. I did the year before last, and they won. So I'm like, I got to get up early enough. make the bacon, because I don't want to make bacon in my suit, because then I'll smell like bacon at over at the station. So I got to make the bacon first, then go get dressed, and then head over, have the bacon on the plate. We can have some bacon on the show. My Cigarzi would be down in Iowa City, but myself and Pierre and Tanner Morgan we'll be doing it from the studios. But we got 3 questions for you, Darrell, before we'll get you out of here. But so I got one, Sam's got one, and I'll close it out with one. But here's my one question for you. Why are the Gophers 8.5-point underdogs to Iowa after beating the top 25 team?
Great question, but I think it's understandable considering how, we played this year. That's the best that our defense have played. When Nebraska came in here averaging 41 points per game and we held them to 6, 9 sacks. I mean, I was like, this defense, I mean, it's not the 86 Bears, but it looked ferocious. It took great angles. They played aggressively. So I can kind of see that, that we've, starting to come into our own. So, and we're going there. You played there. I played there. That place is like, it reminds me of a high school basketball stadium where everyone's just like right on top of you, the fans, and they got it rocking and rolling right now in Iowa. So, they beat a Penn State team a little bit on the fence. So I can understand the, being not being the leader.
Darrell, you can use this on the broadcast. So the Mark Gronowski, the Iowa quarterback, he's got 3 touchdowns thrown this year. One of them was against Albany, 2 of them were against UMass. So against like credible opponents, he's yet to throw a touchdown. What like his legs are really what kind of makes him a threat, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's his, that's one of his claims of fame, and that's why he transferred over, from the Dakotas over here to over to Iowa. So it will be, it'll be his legs, which I think benefits us. Really, I think we do a good job of rallying to the ball, taking good angles. Similar to them, Iowa's known for that too. They take great angles to the ball and make it difficult for people.
And Darrell, Iowa has one of the best traditions, at their stadium. They do the wave. And PJ Fleck, we know his love for philanthropy, his Row the Boat Foundation, all the stuff he's done. And he's made a effort for his team to go out there and wave as well. Because, again, those kids are getting an opportunity to not only see Iowa, but this might be the first time they see a Gopher game or the last time they see a Gopher game. And PJ makes sure these players know how important it is, man. And when you take football away from it, man, how cool, because PJ, like he actually talks well about Kirk Ferentz and says like, man, he's 27 years and, long tenure coach. And that's what coaches want to work to, is being at a place for 20 plus years versus this, I mean, look at Fickle at Wisconsin. His days are numbered. But how cool is that PJ continues even in tough games, moments, no matter what's going on, he makes it not about his team, and because he always talks about the selfless program.
Well, I wholeheartedly believe in that, myself and PJ. I was reading to some kids at a school yesterday with a couple of young men from University of Minnesota. So it's PJ, he walks it, he talks it, and that's one opportunity where those young people, and every time that I see, kind of brings a tear to my eye. So I think it's really awesome, cool, and it lets all of us know that football is a game, and we love it, we appreciate it, but that for that 3 or 4 or 5 minutes for those kids to feel like they're the number one priority is very, very important.
Well, man, Darrell, appreciate you joining me. I'm going to be listening to you on the call because I usually have a little, radio going too, because I like to hear what you and Grimmer are talking about. And then I'll, depending on how bad the TV guys are, I'll mute them and listen to you guys. Because it amazes me the lack of like preparation when it comes to some of these Gopher guys. Because I honestly feel like they walk into a lot of these games just assuming the Gophers are going to roll over and show their belly and just, have one of those letdowns. And then all of a sudden, 9 sacks later, everybody's like, wait, what? Carter Mins? Who is this kid? Like, dude's.
Well, I might have said the same thing like about a month ago. Now he's whooping ass on people. So I mean, I like Carter Mins. He's deserved. He's earned a starting spot. Him and Jackson Howard and Anthony Smith. So they got something going with the defensive ends right now at the University of Minnesota.
That's that developmental program, Darrell. But appreciate you, man. Good luck down there in Iowa. Make sure you eat the bacon. You can at least post your Saturday morning bacon.
I will probably post my Saturday morning bacon.
Saturday morning bacon.
That'll be game day bacon day. We'll get on it. I'll tag you.
All right. Well, coming up next, we got the Daily 3. That's 3 questions. Spend about 30 seconds each today, and we'll do that after a short pause. See, Sam, even I can surprise you, Sam. I like
that was great.
The doorbell guest. It was a last minute thought, and I wish I had thought about it sooner. But yeah, I was just sitting there, and Darrell, I made a bacon comment, and then I saw the message from Darrell, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing right now? He's like, nothing. I was like, hey, do you want to come on quick? So yeah, that's TV magic for you right there, people. Podcast magic. Darrell Thompson, one of the all-time leading running backs in Gopher history, went to the Packers, so don't boo him. But then, now he's the voice of the Gopher radio, him and Mike Grimm doing the Gopher games. They do a great job. But Sam, now it's time for the Daily 3. There's 3 questions. It's been about a minute each today. Take it away.
All right, T-Wolves start tomorrow against the Portland Trailblazers. Ron, give me the finish of the Timberwolves seed-wise. Where are they going to finish in the West?
I think they're going to be the 3 seed. I hate to say it. I know OKC is up there. I'm not sure of the other team, but I just feel like they have 3 seed written all over them. I hope not 4, but I just think that 2 is going to be really tough when you look at the West, when you look at the Rock. I mean, did you see the Rockets starting lineup today, potentially?
Huge.
6'11", 7 foot. KD is playing the 2 today at 6'11". And they're doing that because OKC, I think, said they're going to start 2 7-footers today. So, I think they're just trying to show we can be just as long as you. The Houston Rockets do have injury. But for the Timberwolves, can you match some of the size of the West? Are you going to play? What are you going to play? How are you going to play it? You got Rudy Gobert, you got Naz Reid, you can bring him in, you got Jaden McDaniels, and you could have, I'm drawing a blank, Julius Randle. So you can have those 4 in if you want to play that big, because Jaden McDaniels can play the 2, Anthony Edwards can play the 1, so you could match size for size with some of these teams. But then does Anthony Edwards want to go KD against Houston, and then you put Amen Thompson on Jaden McDaniels? It's just because Mike Conley against a lineup like that, what Houston's coming out with, that's a mismatch waiting to happen if they switch. If KD switches off on Mike Conley, he's taking him down, mousing out. So I got to go with the 3 seed just because the West is I think they're going to cannibalize each other a little bit this year.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like last year, Ron. Remember when we were down the stretch? Wolves could have been anywhere from the 3 to the 10 because the seeds were just so tightly packed together. Yeah. Hard not to think it's going to be the same way. Other than Utah, I don't know where New Orleans is at. There's only a couple doormats in the conference. Otherwise, everyone else is trying to win. Even Portland, going to Portland for their home opener, even that feels like a hard game. They've got Drew Holiday now. Yeah. They've got some young stars coming up there in Portland. So it's going to be a brutal season. I'm going to say 5 seed, but they'll probably be close to a 3. But like you think, it all comes down to, Ron, can they win the close games? Because last year they were horrible in close games down the stretch. Sideline out of bounds plays to win or tie the game. Horrible execution. So can they be a little bit better in that regard?
All right, what you got next?
Yeah. If JJ McCarthy, Ron, theoretical for you, if JJ McCarthy doesn't pan out this season, would you consider pursuing Daniel Jones when he becomes a free agent again in March?
I don't think the Colts are going to let him out the building. The way he's playing, they're talking Colts to the Super Bowl right now, in the AFC. Right. So I don't think they let him out the building. It's amazing what a new team can do for you. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at Daniel Jones. Look at the Kevin O'Connell fingerprint on those guys. I just don't see a way for him to get back. I mean, I would reach out to his agent just to say, hey, would he come back? But then are you going to tuck your tail and say this JJ McCarthy project didn't work and he's going to be our backup? Your first round pick is going to be your backup? I don't think that's ever happened. I think normally teams just play out the first round pick and then cut him when he doesn't work out. I don't know if they could save face unless they can find a way to trade him maybe somewhere. I don't know if Harbaugh wants him or, I mean, there's a couple teams without quarterbacks. So I don't know if, the Dolphins, the Browns, I don't know if any of them, because I think maybe they think Shedeur Sanders might be the answer and they're just scared to do it. I just don't know where you send JJ McCarthy without looking dumb. I just don't. So I don't see the way to do it. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Jones is on the Sam Darnold track, which means if he continues this, he's going to get $100 million.
Yeah.
And so you have to be willing to pay $100 million to Daniel Jones. And I think that this management might be just a little bit nervous to get.
They have a better chance of getting Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they don't like getting in bidding wars for QBs that don't have a long track record of success.
Correct.
So last one. The World Series is set, Ron. Canada's team, Toronto, with a dramatic Game 7 win. They'll take on the team everybody hates, the Dodgers. in the World Series. Who do you want to win, and who do you think will win?
Ah, man, the Dodgers are good, man. Shohei Ohtani is generational. Like a guy that can come in and pitch like that and hit in today's world, because even in the softball world, like if you look across women's softball, there's not a lot of top pitchers other than Jody Ball at Nebraska, Najee candidate at Texas Tech, like Carlin Pickens, the Tennessee girl that's hit like 77 miles an hour pitching. She doesn't bat. Like there's not pitchers normally don't bat. And so for him to be doing this at that level and 3 home runs in the game, that's tough. And Toronto showed that they are not like a dominant team. They just beat the Mariners barely, 3-run jack, in the bottom of the 7th. Vlad Guerrero, I don't know the whole Toronto Maple Leafs story about their hockey team in game 7s, but he wore one of the Maple Leafs players' jerseys, and everybody's tweets was like, oh, okay, congratulations, Mariners. Clearly he doesn't know the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, not good.
I know, and it was 3-1 in the 7th, so I was like, oh man, people are right, because Vlad Guerrero at that point was 1 for 3. Like he wasn't having a great game, and then boom, 2 walks. I think it was 2 walks to get on, and then boom, 3-run jack. So they were 1 out away from getting out of that inning and probably winning it, because they didn't score after that. So if you don't give up that home run, he kind of hung it high. I don't know if it's off-speed pitch, but it wasn't like a 90-pluser, 95-pluser. It looked like he hung it up there. Like, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but it was kind of right in the zone. Like, guys like that, you throw out low and away. Like, you don't let them be able to pull a home run. You got to throw it out or low and away or low and inside. You can't let them drive a home run. And he hung it up right where the guy, probably didn't have his catcher and him weren't on the same page with the coach about this is where the leadoff hitter likes it. Jacked it out of there. And for the leadoff hitter to get a 3-run jack to send you to the World Series is huge, but give me the Dodgers. Because I know the Vlad Guerrero, I love that video of him and Big Papi talking about, "Da Yankee lose." Like, it's so dumb because it doesn't rhyme or anything, but it's just them making fun of the Yankee guys on the broadcast with Jeter and A-Rod just to piss them off and be happy that the Yankees lost. Like, who cares that you won? The Yankees lost. That's all we care about. The Yankee lose. So, but yeah, I got to go with the Dodgers. I don't know. What are you going with?
Yeah, Toronto is a pretty easy team to root for here, just because they haven't been to the World Series in 32 years, and they kind of got the whole country behind them, and they've got some likable guys. Like, I'm definitely going for Toronto, but the Dodgers are a machine. They're an expensive machine, and they haven't lost in the playoffs yet, Ron. So I've definitely got the Dodgers winning, but I'm going for Toronto.
Yeah, I like Ohtani. Money likes Ohtani. The media likes Ohtani. I feel like this is going to, I don't know how many games he'll get to pitch, like how many, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want to out him at least 2 or 3 times on that mound in the World Series, because they want him to be the World Series MVP. Like, it just fits the narrative. The betting stuff is behind him now. I think that the guy can absolutely rake. Like, he hits the ball well. Like, he's such a great player. So, but I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Ekstrom. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank Darrell Thompson for jumping in and surprising Sam with the surprise guest of the day. Ding dong. Brought to you by nobody. But we're just thankful to have Darrell Thompson in. He's going to call the game this weekend, and hopefully the Gophers can pull off a 3-point win. And all you people that bet on the Gophers to cover, hey, collect your money. But I'm Ron Johnson, Sam Ekstrom. Make sure you guys check out all the postcasts as well, because if the Gophers do win, I'm having a bacon old-fashioned. I just looked that one up too, so I will have to have a little bacon old-fashioned to end this Gophers game as well this weekend. So have a great weekend, people. Have a great week, and enjoy this Vikings win on Thursday and the Gophers win on Saturday.